What's up, guys? Today we are going to talk about how you got burned out and how you got uninspired just like me in today's video coming up. Okay, so if you're probably like anyone else who got burned out, there's a reason why you got burned out. There's a reason why you're in a slump. There's a reason why you're not inspired or motivated to even pick up the guitar. What is it for you guys? Maybe leave a comment below. What was it that triggered it that you just one day stopped? Because it was something for me, and it's something different for everyone. And for those who have gotten out of it, if leave your comments and say, hey, I did this, I started meditating, I started exercising, eating healthy, which gave me energy, because that's what we all kind of go through, kind of revitalize ourselves. What was it for you? But let me tell you what was it for me. I probably stopped around 2012, 2013, probably even before, because even 2012, 2013, I wrote one or two or three songs, at the most. So it was probably closer to 2010, 2011-ish, so 10 years ago, because today is 2020, it's February 2020. Anyways, so for me, I think there was a combination of things. I think it was the place I was living. I didn't have my own studio. It was bedroom rock star kind of thing. And so I felt like, oh, I don't want to make all this noise. Especially, maybe playing guitar is okay, but when you're doing singing and, it's kind of like you need your own personal, your little bubble that you need when you're trying to experiment, and you don't want to feel like, oh wow, I'm being really loud, or it's kind of embarrassing. And I think I told you previously in my last video, I wrote tons and tons of songs, collaborated with people, produced other bands. After 2010, I was kind of, I felt like, in a way, I've said what I've wanted to say. I wrote so much material in just a few years, in 4 years. I don't know what else to write about. Nothing is scratching at me saying, oh, get this out, get that out. Because sometimes, obviously, when we write music, it's something we want people to know what's inside. At the same time, it could be for different reasons. For me, we want people to know what's inside because someone else is relating, and that's how you kind of help attract people to like your music, in addition to the sound. Obviously, some people are music, they're attracted by the melody, and some people are attracted by the words, so everybody's different. In my last video, I explained how I kind of started again. I picked up my friend's guitar, I was just tuning it, and I was just feeling just those chords, just like the feeling of that vibration and just the sound. And it wasn't this fancy guitar, it was probably like a $200 guitar, but still it resonated with me, and it made me it kind of made me remember, man, I just playing some just basic chords, basic open chords. And I don't know, that to me, that was actually the start, right? I told you guys that was the start. It was a journey from there. It was like I said, I bought a couple of guitars, and then I was playing them. Obviously my fingers had to re-hurt and re-callus and things like that, and learning some new chords. I bought a bunch of chord books, I bought a bunch of scales books, just to kind of get myself a refresher. And then I guess my whole thing is, does it have to take 6, 7, 8 years for that? I'd hope that it doesn't take that long for people. It did for me in my experience. But picking up that guitar, that little $200 guitar, like I said, I felt something. And not to get all spiritual woo-woo on you guys, but honestly, this is just my experience. It was kind of I remembered how awesome it was to create music. I remembered how awesome it was to come up with nothing, just by either experimentation, sometimes by luck. There's a feeling, and I'm trying to get it out into actual sound vibrations, and that's the hardest thing to do, is how do you get what's inside here to actually portray out in the real world where people can hear it. And in addition to, I like my own music. I honestly believe I have really good music, not to be conceited, but obviously you have to like your own music to want to continue. You have to feel like, wow, I created something awesome and I want to share it with people. I think that's part of a big reason why we do what we do. Fast forward, and now I'm kind of okay, where is the state of music nowadays? The local rock station, like I was telling you before, they're horrible. Growing up listening to that same rock station, how they used to sound, the songs they used to play, they were the best songs. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, obviously, the 80s and 90s and maybe early 2000s. I think the 90s was the very end of the best of music, but just it's just total garbage. And for me, I, as soon as like streaming was was a thing, I started streaming, so obviously I don't listen to the radio, and I hardly listen to the radio anyways. And not to be a negative Nancy, that's just the honest truth. I turn on the radio, and the songs are just like they're generic. They're just, ugh, they're nothing, they're blah. The only time I ever do enjoy the radio stations is when they're playing like their 80s and 90s flashback Fridays or flashback weekends and things like that. For me, I think the last band that was really made an impact was Linkin Park, 2000 and 2002. Just with the guitars, just so much energy, and with Chester's voice is just and it's so melodic. So not only is there energy, but it's melodic and it's soft. And that's what I love. I love awesome melodies and things like that. Me personally, I can't think of another band other than Linkin Park to have done that. And it's really unfortunate, as soon as they started getting all rap, hip hop, and mixing all that, that just went to garbage. So I was kind of sad when that happened. And then they tried to make a comeback, but it just wasn't the same. And I don't know what happened, but I'm still gonna always love them. Going back to how to not get uninspired, unmotivated. How do you dig deep and find something to create? If you feel like you're in a slump, fine, take a little bit of time. If you need to take a vacation, if you need to start meditating, start praying, the whole point is to not get in that slump in the first place, at least not long term. If you're going through something, hey, you're going through something, but not to get in that slump, because year after year after year after year is going to pass by. All the while, you're still the person who wants to create. If you were or are in my position, you're at ground zero. You're like, okay, let me get out of my slump. Let me get out of my, get out of the funk. No, I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. Anyways, hopefully this was informative. If there's anything that you'd like to add to this, please add to the conversation. Good to see you. And once again, Vaughn Felix, if you like all this, what I had to say, show me some support any way you can. Leave a comment, like, thumbs up, whatever the case. Share this video to those who you think might benefit from it. All right, peace. Frame by frame.